Listen closely. The views discussed in this podcast are solely those of the hosts. Audience discretion is advised.
Hopefully, it being loud like this will be helpful.
I think it will.
Why does this say the battery plug? Whatever. We'll figure that out later. Welcome.
Are we good?
Yeah, we should be fine.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to an all-new episode of the Winning Podcast, where if you're wondering why I'm wearing glasses in some episodes and not in some other episodes, if that made sense, I'm not sure. It's because sometimes these lights are too bright.
Hey, that's true. So is the future, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I meant. That's what I meant right away. But no, for real, welcome to an all-new episode with your host, Luijy.
And Caleb.
And we're here to discuss a whole lot of... Actually, let's just get it out the way. We try to restructure the way we cover segments and what kind of segments we're covering. So, unfortunately for some of you guys, you might not hear all of the news from us, but you will hear the most important news. The ones that are topic worthy and the ones that are worth talking about for over an hour, since that seems to be how long we sit here and talk to you guys.
And how long your attention spans are.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not here to attack. I'm not here to attack attention spans. That's just the American attention span in general.
An hour?
And like for a podcast, like to listen to people speaking, like people don't like to listen to people talk for much longer than an hour.
I guess, yeah. Audio
like
and video
Talks.
and all that type of stuff. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But anyway, no, yeah. So things might shift a little bit, be a little bit different. But I feel like, yeah, again, it comes with the more you do this, the more you switch stuff. But as of right now, the lights are too bright and I needed headphones. I needed sunglasses.
Lights are too bright and can't hear.
Bro, you ever be in the car and under some situations where you feel like you need to turn down the music so you can see better?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
of course. Yeah. So it was one of those.
I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. But let's get right into it. How you been?
I've been pretty good, man. How about yourself? Okay, hold on. Let me back up. I've been doing pretty solid. Working a lot, but not overworking. That's what I've been trying to maintain, at least, because I overwork myself easily.
What are you working on, or are we just talking about? Also, I do want to say one thing. Not that I don't mind talking about like our actual jobs.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people might listen trying to get some insight about how you really feel about the job. And two, let's not bring too much job into this. But what are you working on?
I'm just saying. So I am trying to get some new pieces out, so that I can co-host an art show in the next month. I'm upcycling some of my clothing as well as just repurposing some of my other art that I've made. And I hope to have, just some kind of a pop-up space that I can showcase some of that stuff. I'm going to try to work with a couple other artists to get that going as well. But, gotta have some time for yourself. We're still able to hit the farmer's market and stuff this morning, get some of that sun in, which we won't have.
Sun?
Exactly. Like
what are you
we
talking
had
about?
we had a little bit of sun today. It wasn't much.
Get some of that sun in. It was cloudy all day.
It wasn't much sun, but
That's
this is
funny.
Seattle. That was Seattle sun.
I guess, yeah. How do you repurpose art? What do you mean by that?
So I have my pieces that I've already made, and instead of leaving them how they are, I'm going to augment them in some way. So that I can try to appeal to other audiences.
Like the NFT space?
That's a possibility. But I mean, I'm not trying to like backtrack into that space right now. Like that's not what I want. What I'm talking about is more like I have my pieces and I'm trying to make them less lewd, Like what my art looks like. It has titties. So like you can't You can't just have that in every space, especially because the place where I'm having the exhibit, it has like a lot of public facing space. Mm-hmm. And so they said the last time somebody who was an erotic artist had a showcase there, like weirdos were coming in off the street just to like look at the art. And I'm like, that I don't want to. I want to avoid that. Like, don't come in here unless you're trying to buy something.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Man, coming up in here just.
Just ogling my art. Like, yeah, sure, appreciate it, but like, don't come up in here depositing to your spank bank. Like, that's weird.
That's nasty. That's kind of wild, but that's cool though.
Yeah,
I like that. I mean, I feel like you do gotta have time for yourself, and I feel like now the older you get, the more those time for yourself are
the more important
reflected in like our hobbies.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like you know what I mean. Like time for yourself is I'm gonna go and like work on something that I didn't sign a contract that I have to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But no, I feel like that's always been important. I feel like that's what. I don't know. It's cliche, but it's like, what else do we do it for if it's not to, have time to do our hobbies and stuff like that? So.
Exactly.
But that does sound pretty cool.
They ask me what I do and who I do it for. Me, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I wish it was more acceptable to tell people, like, exactly why you're doing something, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you're interviewing for a job, why do you want to work here? I have bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, do you see yourself with this company for? I have no idea. I don't know, bro, but I do need to check. So I'm here. And I feel like I should be, honestly, like that type of honesty, as long as you're qualified in all the other areas as well, I'm hiring you.
Absolutely.
I feel like the days of, oh, well, I want to work here because I believe in this company's mission. Nah, bro, have you seen the economy? Like, like, I can't be out here pursuing passion projects.
Yeah. On someone else's behalf. Like,
yeah.
I'll do my passion projects. Like again, they ask me what I do and who I do it for. Me.
Yeah.
I do it for me, and that's what I'm doing. Like, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to get out and do things, and we were able to share some of that time together too. But that leads me into our, like we were talking about, a little bit new of a structure. So this is our check-in. So I wanted to ask you, what is your like personal win for this week? Like,
I mean, if you're not gonna ask me how I'm doing, that's fine too.
Oh, but what? I thought
no, we ain't even doing that.
I thought that's what you were saying.
I'm not even gonna get into that.
That's what I thought you were saying by seconding my taking care of yourself.
He said I talked about myself, so now we're ready to move on.
No. This is part of it. How are you taking care of yourself in a way that has made you feel like you are winning this week? Because taking care of yourself is one thing, but that's something we have to do.
Yeah.
But beyond just doing the things that are necessary to be alive, what have you done, or how are you taking extra good care of yourself this week?
I feel like everything I do is above the necessary things I need to do to survive in life. Which, granted, I feel like I'm not going to say a lot of, but I feel like if I have any haters, that's probably what they hate the most about me, is how over the top I try to go about stuff.
Hey, and I mean... again, you're taking care of yourself for yourself.
I definitely be doing it for me. Listen, I've always had the mentality that, hey, I don't really know what y'all got going on, but like, it's me and the crew over here, and we're just doing whatever we want to do. But this past week, a personal win for me is that, honestly, I know we talked about this off the camera, that we didn't want this to become like a bro, I work out podcast.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been working out for so many years now. When I started out, I think I started out really doing it, junior year of college. And that was however many years ago during COVID. But
that was like before COVID. It was like right like a year before COVID.
Yeah.
Back before they took our gym from us.
That was crazy. Never got a refund for that either.
Yeah, I'm still offended.
That was crazy.
And they're still sending us mail telling us that we owe them basically the same amount of money as that gym membership.
Yeah.
I'm offended. I just thought about that. Anyways.
But a personal win for me this week has been the fact that, like, bro, I've been getting like more confident in the gym. It's been kind of nice. It's to the point where like I feel like I'm ready to go to kind of like shopping for new gym outfits.
Are you creating gym content confident yet?
No. I thought about that. No. I didn't think about creating gym content. I thought about how everyone at one point in their fitness journey
Turns to it.
has to look in the mirror and be like, is it time to create gym content? And that was like a fleeting thought for me. Like it came up in my mind in 30 seconds and it was out. No, I'm never doing that.
What?
I would never do that.
Not even a home gym kind of thing.
No. Not and only because like everyone's like fitness journey is so different, you know what I mean? And I've taken such a different approach to my fitness journey. Getting to the personal win and everything this week is like I'm finally in a place where I'm comfortable where bro, I'm just eating now.
Yeah.
Like I'm just eating.
Yeah.
You know, like a couple months back, a year back, I would always kind of get in these like in and out routines of eating really, really healthy and then splurging because whatever. But maybe it just comes with age. I don't care anymore. I'm not chasing a six pack. I'm just not. You know what I mean? But I'm still in pretty good shape, right? Like I can physically see that even though I weigh however much I weigh, I'm just built different. I know how it sounds.
The
you know
evolution.
Yeah, like I know, but like if I go to the doctors, it'd probably be like, oh well, like you overweight for, you know, high end build and everything else like that. But in all reality, nah, bro, I'm juicy. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I love that.
So that's been a personal win for me because for a long time, that's been like the biggest issue I've had with like my fitness journey, if you want to call it that, is I love to eat. You know what I mean? Like I'll go and I'll bench and I'll lift and I'll run and I'll cardio, back, chest. But bro, like we were talking about earlier when we were getting food, I'm not going to say no to some mac and cheese. Yeah. Like I'm just not going to do that for a look. And for a long time, I really did want to do that. But bro, I love ribs. I love ribs. I love being in bed and eating ice cream and doing all that. And I don't really want to change that. But physically, I still feel great. As I cough.
Hey, but that has nothing to do with the gym.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Right. But so for that was my personal win because I'm having a good time. You know what I mean? I'm getting up. I'm working out. I'm coming home, eating chicken nuggets, you know, watching TV. While before I was like, oh no, like I got to go home and, you know, like eat this and then maybe in a couple hours I'll eat that. It's like, nah, like I'm gonna work out and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, here we are. So that for me is a win. I'm trying to worry less, I guess is what that's manifesting itself into. Like I used to try to control too many things and worry a lot. So I'm trying to worry less. And one thing that like, bro, you know, because my other thing too, I'm gonna get dragged for this, but I don't really care. As I've started to leave the house more and being like out and about, I'm not doing too bad. I can eat some chicken nuggets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking too crazy. And that's not directed towards anybody. I'm just saying.
And you're walking there most of the time or, you know, using a bike or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's even more additions to the fitness.
Yeah. So, and again, it's something about all of that. It's just like you try to hold yourself to like a certain weird standard. But again, like if you ever stop and get out of your ego, because I do think that's a part of your ego, right? Like either dragging yourself or like any hyper energy you're trying to put towards yourself. So like when you kind of take a step back and notice the world around you, sometimes you can be more appreciative of the way you do things. But yeah, that was a win for me. Long-winded, but that was, I feel good. I'm eating whatever I want, bro. Like, you introduced me to the half chicken. Hey. Listen, dog.
Shout out.
I'm not going to lie to you.
No free clout. And we're definitely not going to tell you where we're getting our cheap foods.
No.
Heck no.
Yo. They introduced me to the half chicken. And last time I came home, bro, I kind of whipped up a little not duck sauce, but a little sauce, glaze it up top, toss it in the air fryer, made it a little crispy. I told you about it.
Yeah.
Before this, it was the duck. And I'm not going to lie, as much as I like the duck was really fatty and there wasn't a lot of meat for me to enjoy off of it.
Yeah.
So the half chicken changed my life. Got another one today.
Man,
but
they go crazy over there. Man, it was crazier when you got it fresh that one day.
Yeah.
Because that was even better.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a personal win for me. Where are you at?
For me, personal wins, I would say, I don't know, just getting back together about how we wanted to do the podcast. I really appreciated that, as it's not just a win for me, but like a win for the team, because that was nice. Like just being able to spend what was like 4 or 5 hours talking about stuff and reorganizing things. Like it's like therapy for the brain.
Yeah,
to be
bro.
like, this is how I'm trying to do things.
I spend too much time with these niggas.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo. They're like, why don't you come outside? I'm like, man, I'm always seeing you guys.
Yeah.
Like
And we didn't even go out. Like we were together for basically like 8 of the last 24 hours, or 8 of the last basically day. Yeah. 8 hours of the last 24 hours. And I don't know, it's even though we're just the same people hanging out together, it's refreshing to me.
Yeah.
So to me, that was a win for me this week. And the fact that people told me that my photos that I took most recently for work were like some of the best that they've seen in this space. And they're like, honestly, we should be using your pictures for our website instead of the ones that they have there. And I was like, honestly, they should. I'm not gonna.
You need to start being like, so why aren't we?
No, see, that's the thing, is the people saying this have no control over anything. Like everybody's gassing me up, but they can't really change nothing.
Hey, sounds like
but
fans
that's
to
okay.
me.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I just like to know that my work is appreciated. And so that's another win for me this week, is just knowing that people appreciate my stuff.
And I mean, I feel like that's a big part of it. Because even when it comes to the podcast, like, yeah, we sit down, we try to restructure things, we try to take it a step further than where it's at right now. And
we want you guys to take us seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
because we take this seriously.
And ultimately, if you're doing anything and you don't take it seriously, why are you doing it? Right? Like, and I feel like that, I mean, not to make it raunchy or anything, but bro, when I'm beating cheeks, like if I'm not taking this seriously, why am I doing this? Like I'm doing my best here. You know
empty.
What I mean? Yeah. Like, no, but it really goes with anything. Like, you know, your job, not gonna, say where it is and not spend too much time on it. Had a lot of areas it could have improved in.
Yeah.
And if you can make those improvements, one, you should do it. And two, if you have the ability to actually make it better, I think you're really doing yourself a disservice by not doing that.
Absolutely.
Right? Like if you have,
I hate seeing things messed up.
And if you have the skills to work on it, it's like you're only hurting yourself by not actively doing that, because you never know. It's like when we were talking that one day, and one of your bosses walked up to you and was like, "Oh, like you're doing this and da 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 da," and he talked about making more connections for you.
Yeah.
Because alternatively, you could have been like, "Oh, I don't really know. Like, I guess I could invest, but I don't really want to." And then they just never bring you those opportunities.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a win. And again, the older we get, people aren't looking at our resumes.
They're looking at the things that you've accomplished.
Yeah.
Like your resume can only really say so much of that. It just says that where you've been.
And I don't want to.
It's like looking at my Google travel history.
I don't want to ruin it for any kids out there. Like, yes, you should have a great resume, but I promise you, after a while, you'll sit through enough job interviews and you realize they don't even look at your resume, because they're gonna be like, "So tell me about yourself." And you go, "But my resume," I say, "They're gonna," and
you'll know as soon as you get to that first interview where they go, "Yeah, we forgot to print your resume, so can you just tell us about it?" And you're like, "You didn't even read it."
No, you didn't even read it. Exactly. They didn't even open it.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have forgotten.
Crazy.
But so I think it's a win. Again, especially in this climate where the economy is shifting and there's like new spaces being created. Now's the time. Now for sure is the time. And like, just to kind of build off of that again, I feel like when you get an opportunity to work, for a company on the areas they could have improved, Or, when it comes to the podcast, if we just never put a certain amount of care into it, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, we're going to hear about some kid who did the exact same thing and now getting the $12 million deal, talking about never give up, talking about never love what you do, talking about, you know what I mean?
Praise to God.
Yeah. And then alternatively, we'll be sitting at home like, damn,
that
if
really
only.
was me.
No, it's not even I
gosh.
wish. If only I would have stuck to it, maybe, and whatever else comes with that. Because again, for me, I think it's really like just the consistency. You never know. Like you go home and you're working on one video, you're walking down the street talking to whoever, talking about that you editing videos for a podcast and work and all that. The right person hears it, boom, $10 million deal. And again, people think that's a crazy number for me to say, but you
it's
never
what
know.
I want.
Yeah, you never know. So
$10 million can accomplish a lot of things. Specifically, a $1 million house and a $500,000 car, and the rest.
$500,000. What $500,000 car are you buying?
Who knows?
It don't even matter.
I just said $500,000 for the car fund. Maybe who knows? Maybe I buy 4 cars with $500,000.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually. I was like, I'd buy a house, I'd buy a fun car, a practical car,
Team car.
and then
something where I can hold like 7 people.
Yeah. Like, and I was like, and then I need a car that's just, fuck it, I have money.
Yeah.
I do need
a spider.
Well, not even something crazy like that. Like something that I personally, wouldn't really drive and nobody could see me driving. Like a truck. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Like I'd go and get the SUV. I'd probably get
it was like the Toyota made the hybrid 4x4.
But I'd get like I own a ranch truck.
Oh my gosh.
Like I really
Like
shouldn't even
Kanye
be
West.
in this. You know what I mean? Like why are you driving this kind of truck? Like I hop out and
Diesel
everybody
engine.
Yeah. I think so I'd go, probably get my commuter, that's Volkswagen, Toyota, whatever it might be. Get a nicer car for the outings. And then just big old polluting the planet truck.
It's like I don't actually drive it. I just own it to make sure that it's not poisoning the environment.
Yeah. Yeah. I might drive it once a week.
Oh my
Drive it up to the
gosh.
mountains.
Drive it the furthest distance it can go without destroying everything.
Yeah. But what would you have? What do you say? $500,000 car.
I don't know, man.
You could definitely make it happen.
I could definitely make it happen.
You could definitely make it happen.
Like
they're out there.
What I would really love to see is like somebody, remember like Pimp My Ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to see something along the lines of take this Volkswagen Golf and make it a $500,000 car. Like I want them
probably
to
do that.
like turn something that definitely is not a $500,000 car into a $500,000.
You can definitely do that. I've seen body shops where people like Justin Bieber, Travis Scott, and all of them take their cars, drop it off, and now the car that was, $50,000 is now $500,000 because of everything they added to it. I'd do that too.
I think that'd make it way more fun. Like those Washington lottery commercials that we see sometimes that are like, what would you do? And they're always something ridiculous, like we're having a wedding for 2 chickens at the football stadium or something like that. And I'm like, honestly?
Dude, I saw a video where they were like, yo, you got to spend all this money today. And this man went to like Walmart and tried to buy as much tech as he could. But I would have bought a car.
Yeah,
I would have called some offshore accounts and talk about what can I buy here. You know what I mean? I would
You have to spend all this money in one day?
definitely have property in Thailand.
Flights. Yep, flights and property. Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they told me it had to be like an easily procurable asset. Like it can't be a permanent asset. I don't know. Food, maybe.
Yeah.
Food, maybe.
Pay rent for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Pay it up front.
I don't even know.
Like estimate how much it'll be in 10 years. And I don't know either. But again, ultimately, I think that's a great win and something to always be aware of because you never know when whoever you might be talking to, like you tell them what it is that you're working on and they go, well, do you want to come do it for however much? And I know I said 10 million, but for whoever's listening out there, I would start for less. 9.5 is reasonable. No, I would start for less.
Honestly, yeah.
Because this is definitely a passion of mine and, something we would definitely want to work and grow and do whatever else.
A starter deal to do something related to art that I feel passionate about, I would easily take, like, I already told you, it was like tens of thousands of dollars. Like,
Yeah.
That's totally fine for me. Like,
Yeah. I just need to
literally,
live.
20K, man. Like, that's what I make not trying to go to work for a whole year.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll do that.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, put me in a situation where I am set up to just work on the podcast stuff, and we're good, because I'll make it grow, and I'll work it for sure. Because we've been seeing successes, but not even to talk about that, because that's not what we're here to do. Congratulations is what I meant to say.
Thank
the
you.
Winning Podcast.
Congratulations to yourself.
You already know.
But you know, that was pretty much the check-in. And so we are going to take a quick break now in between now and our next segment, and we'll see you back after this commercial.
Yeah, because we don't do that often. We always talk about checking in, but we really don't do that. We do it off the camera, but we never actually get to it.
We don't
on
get to
camera.
we don't get to talk about it fully.
Yeah.
Like we kind of brush through it a little bit, and then we're like, all right, like,
Yeah.
let's talk about everybody else.
But now we will, because you got to do this.
Yeah.
It's lit. The Winning Podcast. We'll be back.
The Winning Podcast.
It's lit. I'm getting old.
All right, we're back.
Layoffs are still happening, huh?
Layoffs?
Yeah, people are still getting laid off.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a summer thing. You
Well,
know?
no, I mean the tech industry overall has been seeing just mass layoffs from like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. A lot of companies are doing layoffs. I mean, BuzzFeed just closed its doors entirely.
Well, BuzzFeed News.
BuzzFeed News, yeah.
Yeah, BuzzFeed has a blog and all the other stuff. The other, like, a media company.
No, but BuzzFeed. I'm pretty sure it's done.
Done
Yeah,
completely?
done, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they said, what is their affiliate, their direct sister
like-
network?
Not Huffington Post. It's like
It is HuffPost.
Is it?
Yeah, it's HuffPost.
So yeah, they said they're gonna focus entirely on that, but BuzzFeed is
it's-
pretty much done.
Damn.
And I mean, I know when we tossed it in the chat, people were like, "Was BuzzFeed ever doing news?" Yeah, BuzzFeed pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, BuzzFeed did cover everything, and I guess that's like kind of like the blessing and the curse of when you cover everything, because BuzzFeed became more of like a Facebook mom source.
Yeah,
You know, it's not like anybody was truly taking them as serious as they were. I always got pretty accurate information from BuzzFeed because not only did they deliver it, they made it fun.
yeah, it was never anything crazy.
Yeah.
But I can see why, something like BuzzFeed in today's culture would just no longer be around. Who's not covering news nowadays?
That's fair.
Right? Like, and especially when the entire platform is kind of built on like op-eds and like things that the general public have come to do on TikTok, YouTube, and all sorts of other platforms that have millions of followers. Why are we? I can kind of see it,
Yeah,
and
I
obviously, it sucks for everyone who got laid off. It sucks for everyone whose lives were affected by this. But I think this is a bigger sign of how the culture is shifting in terms of news, in terms of who's delivering it, in terms of what we need to keep, what big institutions like, CNN, Fox, Huffington Post, and all of them, what they'll reserve to cover, you know what I mean? But everything else can be left to the general public to cover.
Yeah. And then when the general public is left to cover it, we have situations like what we talked about last week with NPR and PBS, which are like technically public broadcasting, but also may or may not have influences from the government. So I don't know. It really, to me, we've been through this before, right? Like when we were growing up, we saw the destruction and dismantling of paper news. And everybody was like, the only thing that matters now is internet and TV. And then TV news died.
Yeah.
And they're like, the only thing that matters now is internet. And now internet news is dying. And they're like, the only thing that matters is these 5 networks.
These 5 networks, these 20 influencers, these 30 media personalities, these 50 podcasts, and
Yep.
yeah, that's what it's gonna switch to. And
Which may or may not include us one day.
listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something like right here, right now. This, and again, not necessarily BuzzFeed itself, but the current model of journalism and media entertainment and all of that is shifting. Like it's seeing a big shift.
You can't just be silly, goofy anymore.
No,
Like,
or just a news outlet.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to get. You literally cannot just be a news outlet because I don't need to come to you to get my news.
That's fair.
I could hop on Twitter and bro.
honestly
if you're-
is more accurate a lot of times.
Yeah, which Twitter did a mass. Now everyone subscribed to Twitter Blue. Everyone with a blue check subscribe to Twitter Blue, unless you're a big organization that you got, your alumni
Like
golden badge.
legacy.
But everybody, it doesn't matter who. It says if there's the blue check, they're subscribed to Twitter Blue and verified their phone number and stuff like that. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about that. That's all sorts of politics we don't need to get into. But this BuzzFeed stuff does make it a lot more apparent that the culture is shifting.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not that news is per se dying, but like the delivery systems for news.
Because right now, a lot of news is, let's say, even when it comes to politics and new music and a lot of art, what these news companies are reporting are podcasts.
Yeah.
They're like, yo,
look at this thing.
Caleb
that a person
Rainwater
said.
said he's gonna start, Caleb Rainwater said they're gonna start opening art exhibitions and art galleries and everything like that. Where did he say this? Not at BuzzFeed, on the Winnie Podcast. So me as the listener, if I want to hear Caleb's thoughts and opinions, I'm not gonna go subscribe to Huffington or BuzzFeed. I'm just gonna go listen to their
episode.
podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna subscribe there, and it's free.
Yeah.
until
Until
they
it's
start.
not.
Yeah, until it's not. Wait till the 100th episode.
Sorry, no.
Anyway,
my
but anyway, so I get it, right? So for me, I think that's why a lot of advertisers are pushing their ads on podcasts and all sorts of other streaming platforms that are no longer the traditional, like Pitchfork makes sense. So you put out music, they'll make an album review.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to be reporting on what everybody else is doing and how you can only find that information on their platform, why am I here? I'll just go subscribe to them and just be done with all that.
Yeah.
So.
It's like when people refer to the Associated Press.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, why don't I just go straight to AP's website and
Yeah.
just get this information from them then? Because secondhand information always feels more sketchy, even if it's correct. If I tell you 1 + 1 is 2, and then another person goes, "Ayo, Caleb told me that 1 + 1 is 2," you're gonna be like, "Why can't you just tell me that it's one?"
Exactly. Exactly. And again, it's definitely one of those things that now people want a lot more opinionated pieces than they care about the facts.
Yeah.
Especially here in the States.
Well,
like,
man,
I don't
even when
care.
I'm looking at like New York Times, like even all of I was just reading an article, and it was talking about the change in Florida's legal system, and it's like every single article that's referred to underneath it is an opinion piece.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, okay, like
Yeah.
I get it. We all have opinions.
Well, we definitely live in an era or time period right now where people feel like they get enough facts from just the headline.
Yeah.
Big headline. Oh, I know
Absolutely.
everything I need to know. I don't need to read
The
it.
end.
I'm gonna wait for my favorite bloggers and podcasters and Twitch streamers to like report on it and tell me what to think.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna wait for BuzzFeed to come out with the facts because that's just gonna take too long. You know what I mean? So again, that's my piece on BuzzFeed, and that's all I got to say about it. I just think it's a bigger trend than just BuzzFeed. It's just shifting cultures.
Yeah, like news as a whole
Yeah.
and culture's grasp on it.
What I do want to talk about, because I actually almost kicked you off public transportation, which doesn't make any sense when we started having this conversation, because I just did not understand your stance at all, so I tossed it on here and I want to discuss it.
Yeah.
Which is Frank Ocean's Coachella set.
All right.
Which
So,
right away
you tell me your side, and then we'll have our full discussion.
gonna do something even better. I'm gonna paint you a picture.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, 3 friends who podcast together, spend a portion of their life savings, because that's really what it costs to go to Coachella, to fly down to California, or is that where? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go down to
typically.
Yeah. Anyway, to go see their favorite artist, which includes Frank Ocean, headlining artist, Metro Booming, Future, the list goes on. Metro comes on, brings out Future, brings out Don Toliver, brings out the Weeknd, brings out 21 Savage. Other artists comes on, bring out a myriad of big names. The funny thing about these artists is they don't even have to do that, because you could see them on their tours that they do year round. Always there. Always dropping music. Always present. Even if they did a terrible job, I'm just glad I got to see Future. I'm sure he'll do better at the next one, because I know when the next one is. But really, I flew down here to see Frank Ocean, because really that's a unicorn that we never really get to see. Mm-hmm. His last show was 5, 10 years, 15, 20. It doesn't even matter. His last album, same thing.
Ago.
His last album, same thing.
It's like barely 30 something.
So, but that's besides the point. I'm here to see this guy that, if I wasn't a fan, I've heard he's nothing but
amazing.
Nothing but amazing. If I am a fan, I'm here to see this person that I know is nothing but amazing. You know what I mean? And they don't come out often, so you can't mess this up. You know what I mean? And on the plane over, I'm getting news that you're bringing ice to the desert. How are you bringing ice to the desert? Wow, this is going to be epic. You know what I mean? And then now my Coachella, millions of people, we can't breathe. It smells like ass. Everyone is sweating. You know what I mean? But I'm persevering, because I need to see Frank Ocean. There's no ice rink. There's no skaters. There's no cool lights. There's no big set. It's empty. It's dark. His set started 30 minutes ago. He's still not here. It's been an hour. He's still not here. He shows up. Who's on drugs? Excuse me, bro. I'm on drugs, and I've been waiting for you. I'm dying out here. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then
they said you've been known.
And then, lip sync half of his catalog. Doesn't really put his heart into it. That's a terrible performance. Yeah. That's just bad.
On the spot, I'm a boo him. But I also, what I was saying to respond to this, yes. On spot, I'm a boo him, because that's who I am. I'm an A1 hater, though. Y'all should know this.
That's a bad job. That's just a bad job.
Yeah, that's not what people are here to see. And I agree with you there. But I'm also like devil's advocate every single time. I also will hear out the artist for their explanation. And his explanation may not have been enough for most people, but I would have been like, okay, I paid the price to come do all this. Because remember, we almost paid the price to go do some stuff in this exact same scenario.
He didn't pay the price for anything. They paid him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he will have to pay the price in public fallout. We've been having this like recurring motif on our episodes about the court of public opinion. And you were like, yeah, like people might not want to see him now. People might not book him for things and all this other stuff, as they shouldn't. They shouldn't want to see him. They shouldn't book him for anything if he's going to keep acting like that. However, I also feel like in most of these cases, somebody needs to be checking on these people. Like, it's not always like, yeah, okay, bro. Like, not everybody's just like, you can't always just fall back on I'm a sad boy and like not do your shows. Like, we do know that you are a sad boy and you be depressed all the time. Like that, we get that. But and I'm not discrediting that at all, because apparently that's what he was saying. Like, he was just feeling real torn up about his brother. It was supposed to, and like you were saying, he did all of this to eventually headline Coachella for his brother. And if that's how you're feeling, maybe in that moment, like, here's what I'd say. If you wanted to put on like the biggest show that you could possibly put on, and you were going out into whatever the situation was, and you wanted everything to be perfect. If it wasn't perfect, wouldn't you be super upset?
I mean, yes, but everything was perfect.
I mean, did they get the ice?
Yeah, he changed his mind last minute.
Dang.
It wasn't like Frank showed up and vibes just weren't perfect. He showed up because I don't really know about the ice anymore. Last minute.
Dang.
You know what I mean? And again, showed up. Okay, fine. You're up in arms about your brother and everything else. Why are you an hour late?
I don't know, man. Like I said, these dudes, these artists be sad boys. And I'm always, again, I'm not necessarily discrediting any of this.
But see, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there because I know I'm right. And I know you're playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying we can't keep giving these people a break and, check up on them. Yes. But you know what? At the same time, they have their own people who should be checking up on them. They don't talk to us regular fans like. And that's the other thing about fans.
That's what I said on the bus.
We need to check on him. Who needs to check on him? His friends and family need to check on him. I don't have Frank Ocean's number.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
not.
And if I at Frank Ocean on, hey bro, you good? He's not gonna respond to me. You know what I mean? So there's that.
Hey, but Frank, if you do hear this, are you good? And I would like to know.
Sure. We'll wait for the response. I'm dying. But the other part of that too is you could have just not done it. Right?
Yeah.
Like in the same light that as fans we should check on our artists and we should, give them a break and all that type of stuff. People paid a lot to go there. It's still a job, is what I'm trying to say.
At what point would it have been okay for him to cancel, though? Because, maybe 2 weeks ahead of time, he wasn't feeling it. And that was when he finally decided,
then he should have canceled then.
All right. People still would have been mad.
No. That would have given people enough time ahead of Coachella to even get refunds. Because I wanted to go see Frank Ocean. I'm not getting a refund because he did a half-ass job. You know what I mean? That's totally different. And the other part of that, too, is 2 weeks in advance. Now, maybe Travis Scott might headline Coachella, not Blank 182.
Hey, and I don't know anything about the logistics to rearranging any of this. And that's why, on my end, I was like, hey, there's any number of reasons why all of this came together in the way that it did. Yeah, sure. If he changes his mind at the last second, that is on him. And like I said, if people are bent out of shape about that, don't book him then. And if you don't want to be a fan of him anymore because of this, then don't. It's really not going to kill him for anybody to feel this way about him.
And but it should take away from a bit of the artistry because again, it's not like it's not
the damage has already happened.
Here's the problem. No, the damage didn't happen because after he didn't do well at Coachella, his streams went up. What do you mean the damage happened? My man made money regardless. It didn't matter.
They still wanted to hear his ass.
Exactly.
And again, like I said, but these are the people. It's just like the haters that were trying to defend Trump in our comments. They come here to hate. The people who will come here to hate on Frank Ocean will always be there. And are they really true fans, or are they Playboy Cardi type fans?
But it's not hating, though. I love Frank Ocean. I wasn't even at Coachella. I didn't even know his set was also not live streamed like it was supposed to be.
Yeah, that
you know what I mean. So that's the other part.
I tried to watch it on the live stream.
So the thing with that is, if this was any other artist, for one, that's the other thing he did.
Maybe he was on drugs.
He also changed a lot of his songs, so he didn't perform the songs the way everybody else has heard them. The issue with all of that is
do the acoustics or something.
Yeah, would change the beat or change a few of the words or the cadence or whatever. The only issue with that is, bro, why would you do that? I don't even know the next time I'm gonna see you or if I'm ever gonna see you. I'm trying to sing along with you, but now I can't. I can't. I legit can't because you changed the song. Again, why are you doing this? We haven't seen you in so long, and I can understand. There's just at one point, yes, as fans, we can try to, it's Frank Ocean. But at what point is Frank Ocean actually shows up and shows out for his artists? You know what I mean? You have Lil Wayne, who's getting old. He's on the Welcome to the Carter tour. You know what I mean? Doing all sorts of crazy stuff. You have old R&B artists throwing hips on stage. You know what I mean? Becoming memes.
My gosh.
People are doing the most. SZA is injured, floating on a boat. Artists are really showing up and showing out. The Weeknd heard his voice, and instead of canceling all his shows and not showing up the next weekend and calling Blank 82 to replace him, he added 2 more shows to the tour. You make it up to your fans, because ultimately, if you don't have your fans, you have nothing.
This is true.
So I don't know. And yeah, how dare you? If Lil Wayne pulled up on stage and started rocking like a milli, but over like the Astro Thunder beat, bro, what are you doing?
I mean, again, I understand your frustration.
I'm not frustrated. I'm just seeing where the people are coming from. I'm
from
a man
like,
of the people.
I'm coming from like customer service, like management position. Like, I understand your frustrations, but how can I manage this for you? Like,
no way.
I can't do anything for Frank. I can't do anything for these fans. What I'm saying in all of this is, I get it. You're upset. Like, maybe not you directly, but some of these people are upset. Some of these people are upset, and I hear your complaints.
I'm not gonna lie, I did get
I'm hitting you with A1 hater. So what?
I know. I was gonna lie. I was gonna say, bro. I remember reading everyone's like how everyone felt about it and listening to my podcast and everybody breaking it down, and I did get third hand. Like, I was angry. I was like, how could he? I wasn't even checking for Frank Ocean, but how dare he do that to his fans? And then, because you do hear about the last time he dropped music, the last time he performed, all the shows he's canceled, all the times he never showed up, and you do gotta go,
why does he keep getting chances?
why does he keep getting booked?
Yeah, I mean, and that was my whole point in this whole thing. Like, I get it. Some people spent the last 5 years of their lives
Which that's on you.
for this moment.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah,
I'm big on you. Don't be going no. If the words
Again.
I spent my life savings on this has to come out of your mouth, you shouldn't be there.
no. And if it's a one-time, no, yeah, no,
You're bugging. No way.
Yeah. Again, my official stance on the whole Frank Ocean thing is, yeah, the first time I saw Kid Cudi, he was definitely on drugs. And
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And maybe Frank was on drugs. Maybe he
Who's on drugs?
Yeah. He goes,
excuse me?
no, but for real, maybe he was on drugs. And they can't really say that. And that's why they didn't want to live stream it, because Disney had a hand in it.
Yo,
and they're like, we're not going to live stream a dude on drugs.
Well, somebody
like,
came out and said, I think his publicist or somebody came out from his team was like, Frank hurt his ankle.
Yeah.
So that's why he couldn't really give you guys a show he really wanted to give you guys. And somebody responded with a video. He's twerking. I was like, no way.
No. Hey, twerking is done with your hips and ass, not with your ankles, guys. Come on,
Okay, but you're not
be
hopping
reasonable.
around. No. No.
Be reasonable.
We're not
people.
letting them get that off. Talking about not letting people get some off. Jonathan Majors, bro. Let's discuss.
We gotta come full circle.
Before
on this
we
one, 'cause
do-
we were trying to defend him.
I was not. Whoa.
Not defend, but we were trying to give him some time for us to get more of the details, right?
Yeah.
And now we have more of the details, and they're worse.
Do we have more of the details, or do we just have more? Because we don't have more details in that specific situation. We just have more details in general.
I mean, I guess yeah, but like we got other details in general. So,
Are we good?
It's gonna turn off regardless.
yeah,
Just to let you know.
Okay.
it's good.
You want to toss me and I'll turn it back on. It's the sunglasses.
The hands.
Anyway, no, I'm not gonna let you get that off.
No,
I was
no,
not
no.
in here defending him.
I'm not saying that we were defending him. I'm saying that we were waiting to hear more.
Okay.
We at a point we were like, yeah, Jonathan Majors in the news. We can't say what's going on because we got recanting of stories, we got conflicting information. So I was just gonna let that one breathe.
How much time we got? Because I really do want to break this down.
Oh, we got another. We could start from whole 30 minutes right now.
All right. Yeah. I was very happy to know that I wasn't crazy when I thought every single piece of information that got released after what had happened made the situation worse.
Absolutely.
So hearing everybody else talk about it, hearing, everyone's opinions, because we still don't have the facts, I was correct to feel that it was even worse. To one, put out
we
those text
imagined.
messages. Yeah, to put out those text messages of, I go do your own research. I don't want to get into the text messages. I thought and everything else. So what I was going to actually say is, before we get into our thoughts and opinions, if you could pull up the articles of what has been dropped from, we should start there.
Got you.
Mainly, his PR and management team have dropped him. Long-term management and PR team. You know what I mean? Which to me was already kind of like a big red flag. So go ahead.
All right. So, things. No free clout, but shout out to this article. It was very succinctly written. Everything Jonathan Majors has been dropped from. His management team. Majors was reportedly dropped from his management team at Entertainment
no free clout.
360.
Just read the names off.
Yeah, no, that's like all one bullet point.
Oh.
Entertainment 360 and PR team at the lead company. Continues to be represented by WME. Oh, snap. His lawyer's husband is currently running his crisis PR because he doesn't have a PR agent anymore. That's crazy. That's scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah, bro, you got your
Scary.
emergency team doing your PR. Sad.
What happens if there's a divorce? Anyway.
Anyways, film and TV roles. No longer starring in The Man in My Basement. No longer filming in the 5th season's Otis Redding biopic. Dang, that's a big loss.
Mm-hmm.
He's still attached to the Avengers, Loki season 2, and Spike Lee's The Understudy.
But I think that's because those have already been filmed. Yeah.
He's also supposed to play Dennis Rodman still.
Yeah.
Brand.
I'm pretty sure he got dropped from that.
Okay, well then this was written
It doesn't
about
matter.
a week ago. But anyways,
Yeah.
brand deals. The U.S. Army, I remember that happened.
yeah.
They said they're not going to do it. The Texas Rangers have removed them from their campaign ad. Oh, yeah, he's no longer to attend the Met Gala this year. He's stepping down from the Gotham Film and Media Institute board
Yep.
and its Sidney Poitier initiative. So, yeah, that's everything that was listed in this article.
No, and I mean, that's everything.
Yeah. That's
Listen.
still a lot of things.
No, I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is, yes, you're right. Before we really got into it, we did say we want all the facts to come out before
we pass judgment, at least.
Yes. But
Now I'm passing judgment.
yeah, man, listen.
Stop beating people up.
Listen. They have to know something that we, the public, don't yet. Because he's not going to trial till next month. So they must be privy to some. Because as a PR management and all sorts of other stuff representing Jonathan Majors is not as big as he's become, I'm not losing the bag if I think there's a chance this could be swept under the rug or he could be proven not guilty. Again, not taking the whole morality thing out of it. Because, it's not like we know John at whatever PR firm is representing Jonathan Majors. They don't care.
Yeah.
If this gets swept under the rug or he's found not guilty, they're going to keep working with him. They're going to keep making millions and everyone's paid. It's fine. But in a situation like this, for them to not even care about that bag and the possibility of making more money with him, something's up.
Yeah.
Something's
Absolutely. Well, it's like, whatchamacallit? The best lawyers will always take the worst cases because they know they can do it.
Yeah.
But
Allegedly. I don't know. I don't know why I agreed so quickly with that statement.
well, it's just a thing. Yes, allegedly. Like if they know they can win, even if it's a difficult case, then they'll take it because it boosts their career. Like you're saying though, to like hear the case and be like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I couldn't fix this one.
Well,
and just like run away from it is like pretty intense.
The other part of it too is that allegedly the DA has had more collaborators step forward to, you know, strengthen the case against him, that he is out here hitting women and committing atrocities against
Abusing
women.
people
Yeah,
in general.
So it's just not looking good, bruv. It's all I could really say. Because, again, why... The reason for me now that I'm like, something's not right, and I don't know about the whole innocent thing anymore, is because Hollywood doesn't care if you're a piece of shit. They will work with you to the end of time as long as they cannot prove that you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a good way to put it.
it's very true. Hollywood literally has a rap sheet of working. If anything, they won't work with you if you're not an abuser. They legit won't. Like,
If they don't have something on you, or
yeah, like
something like that,
because they need to be able to be like, well, you know, morally, he's a champion who just been like, they need
He's
that.
been through so much.
Yeah, they need that piece of it. If they're not even willing to work with that, bro, something's up.
yeah,
Something's up.
I feel that.
Obviously, there's still a chance that once the video comes out, which is really what should have happened from the get-go, right? Jonathan Majors accused of beating white women in the back of a taxi. First thing I'm doing is putting out the video to clear my name immediately.
Yeah.
There's no if, and, or buts about it. I don't need a PR rollout for that. Here's the video, didn't touch her.
Yeah, you don't need a PR.
You don't
rollout
need
for that.
anything
Here's
for
the
that.
facts.
Yeah, here it is. I didn't touch her. Like, clearly she's here strangling herself, hitting, doing whatever. I didn't do it. That's all he would have had to said. He would have kept avenging. He would have kept.
He kept avenging.
He would have. Like,
You're
everything would have been
silly for
just
that.
fine. But it's been months. It's been like a month, right? Everything's just dragging on. And I feel like, bro, you're the window to save yourself and not end up on Tubi.
It said on Tubi. No way. No way.
It's closing though.
Yeah.
Like, as more and more information comes out and you're not getting ahead of this with actual proof that you didn't do this, you're losing support.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask your opinion on this, because one thing I've heard also that I never even thought about is the lack of support from other celebrities. You know what I mean? He was just cheek and cheek with Michael B. Jordan, but Michael B. Jordan has not come out and say, hey, that's my brother.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? We have more proof that Young Thug was actually running a gang, and more celebrities being like free thugger did we do of an alleged, you know, like abuse situation, and celebrities like backing him up.
That's
No one's
very
came to
true.
his defense.
That's very
What do
true.
you
I didn't
what do you
even
think about that? Yeah, but now, what do you
Yeah.
think about it?
Like I was saying before, I feel like that's pretty telling. Like you were saying when we were on the bus earlier, like it's odd that, and now when you go back and you watch his old content, right? In these like random off-cuff moments where he's like jokingly threatening people, and you're like, wait a second, was he serious? 'Cause now it kind of seems like he was serious.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's like in that one video, he goes, I wonder which one would step to me if they saw me in the streets. And I was like, that's real scary now.
Yeah, and
because
you're
you
like-
are a big guy, and apparently you be smacking.
Yeah, man.
Like,
And I don't know, like maybe he's got some, and I'm not here to just dismiss everybody committing violent actions as trauma response, but maybe he does have some trauma of like people calling him gay growing up or something.
somebody
and, like,
did say that.
now he's like experienced it full
Well-
force, and he's like, honestly, bro, gay
Well,
this.
I don't know.
And
It's
sorry, that
because
is not a joke, but
I don't know if it's somebody. I don't know if he was being teased for being gay, but somebody did say this is very reminiscent of somebody who's dealing with trauma and is now in a position of power, and now the trauma is coming out.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, yeah, like what wannabe actor who wears oversized suits and weighs 100 pounds with a wet t-shirt does not get made fun of growing up. You know what I mean? Like it's not an unheard story.
Yeah.
And the other,
Absolutely.
And if I'm being completely honest, like the way Jonathan Majors has been dragged by like media personalities throughout this, I could definitely see how he could have had a tough childhood growing up.
Yeah.
You know, we have one podcast being like, yo, bro, you're black. Like there's no beating around the bush. You have nothing but black features. You're black as black can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have other people making fun of him, his masculinity. And this is not to, you know, dismiss his actions and what he's doing and, you know, right or wrong. But I can see how if you've been dealing with that all your life and now you're in a position of power, yeah, I'm about to act up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say something to me. I wish you would.
Yeah,
You know what I
straight
mean?
up. And I am big now. Like, come at me.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I would do that personally, but I'm saying like a lot of times we do see that, right? Like people usually don't start acting like who they truly are until they get in a better position.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say a position of power, just a better position, right? Like, I mean, even to not keep it on a dark note, like it's like fashion. You don't really get in your bag until you're in a position to get in your bag.
Yeah.
But before that, you got to be humble. You got to, you know, like beat around the bush. You got to do all that. You can't really show up and show out. You can't call anybody else's outfit ugly because you ain't got it like that. But once you got the Dior and Gucci sponsorship and they're sending you bags of clothes every month, you might see your homie come through the door and go, yo, bro, you can't walk next to me in that. Like, you know what I mean? So anything. But I have heard people talk about that now. It's not that, I don't know. There's just a lot that goes into it. But ultimately, what do you think? Now, with everything we found out, more collaborators, drop from deals, you're scared of the guy yourself.
I think he did it.
Oof.
Maybe not this specific instance, like that they're trying to call them the most attention to, but he definitely did something.
Yeah.
It's like when.
So you don't think this is racially charged at all?
I don't think it's racially charged. No, because like there are way more celebrities that you could attack for just racial reasons, right?
No,
like,
I'm saying no one believing him.
Oh, no one believing him?
No one coming forward. No one standing behind him. Like,
no, I don't think it's racially charged. Because there are plenty of black people that other celebrities would have come to the aid of.
Who?
I mean, like we were just talking about, Young Thug. People don't
Yeah.
even understand what he's doing, and they're like, free him.
Yeah.
They're like,
I
yeah,
know.
bro.
I
You
don't
can,
think a lot of people understand why
yeah, like
Young Thug is in jail.
they claim that Young Thug is out here threatening people's aunties, and if that's facts, yeah, bro, put him in jail. Like,
Okay, well, no,
straight
we're
up.
not doing that.
Okay,
We're not doing that. Yeah, we're going, no.
like, and that's what I'm saying.
I'm willing to give up Jonathan Majors if Young Thug gets to come home. Okay, and not like,
That's such
not
an
like,
interesting perspective.
I mean, listen, if he's
If
really,
he's
out,
really
here,
out here committing mob crimes, though.
okay, who's not out here committing mob crimes? One of our last president just got indicted for committing mob crimes.
Okay.
Like, and now the black
but
guy
one-
trying to uplift his community has to do jail time for it.
But one guy is committing mob crimes, and occasionally it results in loss of life, whereas one guy is out here slapping people around. I think one of these is a little bit more intense than the other.
No.
You're gonna tell me
You're
gonna tell me that possible extensions of RICO offenses is more intense.
Okay, a
or
lot of
is
things
less
can
than-
be-
is less intense than
A
slapping
lot of things
people.
can be considered like part of a RICO charge. All right.
I know, but what I'm saying is
Young Thug hasn't been proven guilty of any. These are
he
also
hasn't
allegations.
been. He hasn't been, and neither has Jonathan Majors yet.
And if we're being completely honest, Young Thug is only in jail still because his defense is ass. Because I don't know if you heard, but listen, if I'm the judge, no.
here-
If I'm the judge and I go, hey man, like your client's looking at doing real time, and as the defense attorney, I go, yo, that's cap. Yeah, I am in jail because my defense is ass. Like, do you hear what this man is saying to the judge? Like,
Okay, but you asked me about Jonathan Majors, and what
Okay,
I'm telling
okay.
you is people will ride for anybody else but him, but it's not about race. I just don't think
I guess
they
that was
fuck with him.
that was the initial conversation.
I just don't think they fuck with him. Why? Who knows? I think Paul Rudd fucks with him, but now I don't think I can trust Paul Rudd because how is he out here slapping people up and you're like, that's my guy?
I feel like we're leaving that too lightly. He's not out here just slapping people up. All right. That happens every day.
I'm taking this from the stance that he is. So like,
no. That's not what I'm saying. He's actively abusing people.
Yes.
That's a whole different stance than, because bro, I could, you know what I mean? Listen, I've known guys.
This is just semantics.
No, it's not. Because I've known people, and you've also known people that they've smacked a couple people every now and then. But they really are not out here abusing women. All right.
Okay. What I'm saying is, remember, our stance, or at least my stance, I said this in the group chat. My official stance is Jonathan Majors is beating everybody up. I'm not saying we have any proof of this. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not gonna stop at it's just all romantic, like, domestic abuse.
Oh,
like,
you think it's just out here?
I think he's just beating people up,
Wow.
and that's why nobody's coming to his aid. Because, like, a lot of people can defend a lot of things, right? Two things that people readily will steer clear from in Hollywood is if you are a known child abuser and if you're a known woman abuser. Most people are like, yeah, you got to figure that one out on your own.
Is that true though?
Yes, bro. They left Jeffrey Epstein up in that bitch. They said, yeah, you're going to have to figure that one out.
The child abusing one I can see, but I feel like Hollywood has a lot of women abusers that are just...
Yeah. But it depends.
But that's the other scary part. None of them have came to his defense either. So I get it.
No,
you can't.
Women abusers never come to each other's aid. Never.
You can't.
The
Could
best
you
thing.
imagine?
The best thing that they ever do is go, "Hey, bro, here, call my lawyer. He got me out the last time. Like he's helped like 3 or 4 of us out, but we can't tell him in the public that like we're giving you this card."
Yeah.
Like, but every
That's
time,
scary.
every single time, it'll be Jonathan Majors showing up.
That's the Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And the Wasp.
Just about every time it's going to be Jonathan Majors shows up to court, right? Mm-hmm. And who's going to be there to defend him? Johnny Depp's lawyer.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Johnny Depp got away with it.
And he did, exactly.
Johnny Depp got away with it.
Exactly my
Johnny
point.
Depp was on deposition talking about, I was doing hella drugs. Like, excuse me? Can we,
like, I can't say publicly that I fuck with Johnny Depp because of these things, but I'm gonna say, like, you know, just like Donnie T might be a mob boss, Johnny Depp low key got away with a lot that he shouldn't have.
He really did. And you know, I do think our law is funny in the way that it's like, hey, like, while you're sitting here for this one crime, other things you say, we can't really like, add it up on top.
Yeah, no.
So he really did. Yeah, bro, like, I was smuggling drugs and, sir, what? But you can't attack. Anyway.
He said, yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with her, though.
Yeah.
And you're like, why did you admit that?
For real.
Anyways.
Jonathan Majors, ultimately, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
I'm not going to lie. I came from a place of bias where I was like, please, Lord, let it not be a brother. Like, let it not be a black man who is breaking boundaries, for one, representing the culture. And again, just like, bro, I'm not going to say sometimes the news is a little bit easier to digest when it's a white person who does it. You know, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? Because when we do it, it's a whole bigger thing about how we should be kept away from spaces and don't belong in spaces, and you know, there's a lot more that's attached to it when we do it.
They should have never gave you niggas money.
Yeah, no, for real. So now, you know, on top of him being a terrible person, potentially, allegedly, a lot of I'm just scared that now, the next time a black person or a black man enters a room and is looking for opportunities, they're not gonna get it because you know how they attach that shit to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like flies on shit, bro. Like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it just comes right back to like the Frank Ocean paradigm, you know? Like, if he's a terrible person, stop booking him for things. Like, don't let him get away with things if he is a terrible person.
But that Frank Ocean stuff might come back and bite other celebrities, because for a while,
yes,
Coachella was white people, but now there are black artists. But what if they start going, we're not booking Caleb because he's gonna ask for ice in the desert and then not do shit with it?
Hey, and again, punish the person that did it, not everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if Jonathan Majors is out here slapping people up, yeah, put cuffs on that man. Like, he needs the kind of help that only rehabilitative prison.
He needs the help Ezra Miller got.
Yeah. Bro, he doesn't need that. Like, that's the whole thing.
He might need that.
Here's the thing. Yeah, he might need that kind of defense. But as we were talking about this too, Ezra Miller's PR team stayed.
Yeah.
Because they knew that they could fix that.
Okay, but
Jonathan Majors' team didn't think they could fix that.
I don't know how they fixed Ezra Miller's situation. How do you go from
no clue, dude.
home invasion, kidnapping?
He did the R. Kelly 360 no scope.
Yeah.
And got away with it. I have no clue.
R. Kelly is... Anyway, let's move on. There are dire things happening in the world, in our country, and actually not, I consider this to be something that's happening down the street in terms of like news and impact and everything. But Missouri is acting up.
Missouri. Man, when I heard this, I was like, where even is Missouri? But
Yeah, I thought the same thing too.
but a lot of things actually happen in Missouri. But this time, what we're talking about is
What else happened? Before you bring this point up, please enlighten us. What else happens in Missouri? A lot of things happen in Missouri. Why did you say that? Why did you say that?
Because if I'm not mistaken, what is it? Kansas City is in Missouri, isn't it?
I feel like Kansas City would be in Kansas, but
Kansas City, Missouri. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I had something in mind. I had something in mind about Missouri.
It's Kansas City.
Hold on. Because when I was looking this up earlier, not the trans things came up. Go to Missouri, go to news.
Also, is Missouri populated enough to be passing this type of laws?
I guess, yeah. Like, so Missouri's in the Midwest, and for a Midwest state, it's got a pretty high population, I would say. Let's see.
Because to me, this is kind of like when I hear, a small town, and I mean a small town with 2 roads. They go, we're gonna reduce our funds for the year. That's not a lot.
6 million?
That's not a lot.
What? How much is the Washington population then? By comparison, 7 million. It's only like 1 point.
But Washington's also a small
1.5 million
state.
more people.
We're kind of a small state.
I mean, I would say that Missouri isn't necessarily that much larger.
Look up how many
And it's
people in New
mostly
York.
like Missouri is like mostly farmland and stuff. Yeah, there are 8.4 million people in New York.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's a comparable size.
Yeah, the tri-state area. No,
Yeah.
So Missouri passed anti-trans laws. I had something pulled up for this too.
What kind of? How?
Hold on. It was. Oh yeah, okay, that's what it is. So Missouri was the one that passed the trans snitch form. Like they were like, we don't do that trans shit. We don't do that gay shit. We don't do any of that.
But
and
what's
if
crazy?
you
They
catch
probably
somebody,
do.
they absolutely do. See, it's always the places that are the most heinous that are still doing it, because what it is they're punishing people for finding out, not for doing it. They're like, hey, we do that. Don't tell anybody though. And as soon as somebody goes, hey, yo, we be free out here, they go, no, we're not. I'm free out here.
And look at how we're making laws
Yeah.
to show we're really not doing any
No.
of that gay shit.
Yeah. And so Missouri was like, hey, we don't really fuck with trans people. And if you know somebody who is receiving gender affirming care, let us know where. Because we about to roll up on them and arrest them or fine them or whatever it is. And so the state legislature passed this like form, and all of these people spammed it with fake reports by putting the entire script of the B movie into it.
That's hella funny.
So it's just like select lines, and like every form is just like literally the script. Enter stage left. It's like really long.
Enter stage left. That's funny.
It's like really funny to me because that's a Reddit solution
Yeah.
to things.
Yeah.
Like I've always been all about like the guerrilla defense of rights. And it always comes back to Reddit. I think we covered a Reddit story a couple months ago, maybe even over a year ago now, but talking about how this company fired everybody and then they put up their like jobs on Indeed, and so everybody went to Indeed and just applied for the jobs with like bullshit entry information.
That's funny.
Until it literally crashed their like application form and they had to take it off.
No, that's hilarious. So what is the trans laws that they're passing?
That's what it is. Restricting gender affirming care for all ages. So you have like, and that's why I'll kind of mesh this and the Florida information together. Like Florida just increased the whole, like, don't say gay. You can't teach about gender affirmation. You can't teach about gender identity in schools.
And when you say don't say gay, is this in a way trying to like protect the LGBTQIA plus community, or the opposite?
It's supposed to do the opposite. So the objective is more so to create it's more like creating the idea that these people don't exist. Like, don't even, it's like, remember in the early 2000s, the military was like, don't ask, don't tell. We let gay people in here, but we just don't talk about it. And that was very damaging because it's like, okay, well, why don't we talk about it? Like, we are also soldiers and we do the same thing that everybody else does. Just also low key take it up the butt. And like, they're like, okay, like, I guess that's not bad.
Low-key take it up the butt.
They're like, I guess it's not bad. So the military had to stop that policy during Barack Obama's presidency, if I'm not mistaken, because they were like, it's literally causing soldiers to commit suicide. Like, they just want to be gay.
Yeah. Which, anyway, we've already spoken about that.
And so Florida took that that really old rule and was like, well, what if we applied it to education systems? And it's like, just don't talk about it. And just don't tell anybody, don't ask anybody. Just don't even talk about it. So like kids who are reaching the age of sexual maturity or the beginning years of that, and they have questions, they can't get those questions answered.
Yeah.
They said that like the only place that you can discuss it is in a sex ed class that's designed around that. And even then you're not supposed to like teach about transition surgeries and stuff like that, or like any of the gender affirming care. So Missouri was like, why don't we just take that a step further and say not even adults can learn about it? And so it's like literally nobody can do gender affirming care in Missouri because they're like, we just don't want to talk about it.
Do you think these are more religiously charged than anything else? Because I was talking to a friend and they have somebody who's like a teacher, and that teacher was talking about how, like, in kind of a passing moment, the teacher was like, oh, it's kind of a trend right now for everyone at the school to be, gay, queer, or wanting to transition and stuff. And, kind of the approach with that was, one, do you think Missouri is also thinking like, oh, this is a trend and we need to get ahead of this before I guess in a way, these kids do irreparable damages to themselves because of things they don't really understand? And two,
what does that have to do with the adults? Because they just increased it to everybody.
Well, no, but I mean, one for the adults and two for the kids too. One for the kids, but two for the adults. And what I mean by the religious aspect of it is like, I mean, kids don't care about religion and stuff like that. But I'm saying like for the adults do you think it's more of a religious reason behind why we can't even let y'all talk about this? You know what I mean? Because it can't be a logistic thing, right? Because unless somebody tells you, unless you're really like in a relationship with that person, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Obviously, there are, levels to it and everything like that in between, but you wouldn't know. So do you think this is more of a religious charge than it is anything else? Because wouldn't this also bring money to the state from this? I don't know.
I don't personally see any benefit. like, I don't see it being particularly religiously charged, but most things Republicans do is in some way, shape, or fashion. Because the people that they pander to are people who just listen to things, like, irregardless to their factuality or how helpful it is to them or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, sure, there's probably some kind of a religious base to this, but in that same space, they wouldn't limit religious teachings in the same places that they would limit teachings about gender affirmation and stuff like that. Like, where we're at right now, Missouri, I don't think there's any backing to this that would make it make sense, right? Like, sure, it can be religious, but
obviously I agree with you. These laws don't make sense, but they did pass.
Yeah,
so there has to be a reason behind them. I've never been to Missouri. No, do I think I ever will?
I don't think it's religious. I think it's mainly just having a topic to fight. Like, because that's what a lot of politics in this country is. It's like, well, what are we fighting? I don't know, dude, but pick something. And they're like, you know what? The trans agenda. And everybody keeps calling it that, like the trans agenda. Trans people don't have an agenda outside of transitioning from one gender to the other. Let them do it.
Trans agenda.
Like, let them do that. The agenda starts with, I wake up in the morning and I want to be the other thing. And that's it. It's step 1 and 2. Like, that's it.
Again, the reason I'm asking is I just feel like not allowing people like that space to exist ultimately like hurts their economy in a lot of ways. So it can't be an economy thing where they're trying to, save or make more money. Morally, especially these people, if they live in Missouri, I don't think they're just running around and like telling all these conservative or Republican people, not to say all conservative and Republican are transphobic, but I feel like that's probably not something they're advertising as much in Missouri. So I'm just trying to make sense on how everyone agreed to do this.
That's the thing, is they don't. So we already know that's not how politicians work. Like, politicians can decide whatever they want. As long as they have anybody within their general demographic that'll support that decision, they'll get it off. And so them being like, we'll attack the trans people. It really only takes like around 15 to 20% of your population to be like, we agree with that, for you to get that off.
That's crazy.
And that is crazy, because that 15 to 20% is the only people that are actually going to show up to vote on it. And so, like, as long as you sell it to them in a way that scares them, then they'll be like, hell yeah, bro, get that shit out of here.
Bro, transphobia is real. I'm not going to lie.
It's super real.
And the U.S. they do a terrible job about covering it up. It's like, cause I remember a week back, Anheuser-Busch or whatever it's called, Bud Light, one of the beer companies,
Bud Light.
They put out. So the way the story was spun initially was that Bud Light ran a campaign where they were putting out a whole bunch of beers with a transgender person on it, and obviously the community just wasn't about it.
Yeah.
Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch lost like $5 billion in the process, which I don't even understand how that resulted in that loss. And I do think some of these stories are potentially made up. This is where the whole somebody sent a check to NPR and NPR said some words that probably aren't true. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But come to find out, it was a one of one. It never circulated. Like, those beers were never sent out. It wasn't like, all right, we're back from our commercial break. Caleb's getting adjusted, but we all good.
Indeed.
And trying to not make this too long. All I'm going to say is let people be who they want to be, get out their way, and stop. You know what? This is why my student loans are not getting canceled. It's because you guys are worrying about things that, one, has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And two, again, like, just do something else. Because
Man, and
I know next month what we're going to hear is a lot of you politicians are caught partying in the communities you hate, caught dressing up in ways from the communities you hate. It's just no one, whatever.
Leave them be.
Moving on. Last segment.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna kind of do the last segment as like what's going on in Seattle. So
I got the first one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't save the article, but this is as close to the title as I can remember.
Here, hold on. I got you.
It's called.
Looking at it.
No. I got this. I got this. I'll carry this one. The Hidden Beat of Seattle. Came across this article and I was like, you know what? Let me read about what Seattleites have going on. And this person went out their way to talk about how Seattle has a real underground music scene. A lot of us don't know this, but Seattle likes EDM. Dun, dun, dun. Whoa. Surprise. Revelation. And you know, a lot of times when people think of EDM, they don't think of electronic dance music and all it has to offer. But it has a lot to offer. Okay. Anyway,
this already sounds like
pretty much the story is about how Seattle's music scene is kind of underground and it's not really EDM. But as far as I know, Seattle is nothing but EDM.
And what do you mean it's not really EDM? Like, as long as it's made on a computer and somebody spins it on a turntable, it's friggin' EDM.
It's EDM.
So, like, what?
Seattle has a lot. It's a huge EDM scene.
Yeah.
Like, let's be completely honest. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And if this was from a perspective of somebody who doesn't listen to EDM and only listens to rap, and now they're trying to like be quirky about you can only listen to rap and notice the Seattle scene is really EDM. It's EDM. Like, let's not joke about it. Let's not try to toss it up for what it's not, or for the sake of content.
And I don't think Seattle EDM is, like, I'm not trying to, like, you know, talk down on Seattle much, but like, I don't think it's anything particularly extremely unique either.
No.
It is standard, like, mostly house and like stuff like that.
Every bar, every club, every house party, everyone's house, everyone's car, all the events, they're all EDM based. Like, what are you talking about? It's not a big thing here.
Or that it's underground.
And I'm coming from a place where it's kind of frustrating for me because I wish there was more diversity in our music, like in the music scenes here in Seattle.
Yeah, like, why is Afro beats like only once a month or something like that?
Yeah. Which is changing, but that was some news that caught my attention, and I was the hater. I'm still hating. Whatever. We're on to the next thing.
And you're allowed to hate.
Yeah.
They were being a hater.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Then we got Boba Fest happening in Seattle. You got to say these things right, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a lot of conversations day to day, and we need to all get on the same page on how to pronounce certain words, phrases, and things that kind of define Seattle culture, whatever. And Boba is one of them. I don't know what Boba Fest is, but apparently it's a big news. It's coming back. Everyone's going. We're going.
It's a lot like the, from what I hear at least, it's like, you know how they have Seattle Cocktail Week and then like the Seattle Food Festival and stuff like that. Same thing, but just boba.
Tapioca
like
pearls.
All kinds of boba. So I'm trying to get up in that. I'm gonna break
I'm
out
gonna have
the
lactose pill. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna have the lactose pill on hand. I'm not doing that.
Breaking it out, not dealing with nothing that day.
Yeah.
But I'm into that.
We're definitely gonna try to start covering more news and highlights and events happening in Seattle because we do live here. I'm gonna have to start roasting some of y'all. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm not letting you guys get it off anymore. It's just too much.
Yeah, bro. Like that book we saw earlier. That was like Seattle fashion. I'm like, don't relegate me to this. I don't dress like this.
Man, listen. Anyway, what else we got? Quick news.
More quick news. Sean Kemp was actually charged for trying to get his phone back.
And self-defense.
In self-defense.
You know, and this is what I'm saying, man. Like, you can't get away with nothing, even if you're in the right, as long as you're black, you won't get away with it, even if you're in the right.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, because we've definitely seen...
I actually don't know if this is racially charged or not.
I don't think it's.
know.
I don't think it's directly racially charged, but it's not racially charged.
That's true.
You know, like you may not only be doing these things to this person because they're black, but you're definitely not helping them because they're black.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know.
Because they shot at me and I shot back. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, and you stole my stuff, bro.
Yeah,
What are you on?
I'm confused on why we're even having this conversation. Like, what are we talking about here? Why am I here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever.
Man, and that sucks too. As a person, as a black person who's legally allowed to carry a gun, to have that taken from you because of something like this is whack.
Yeah.
Because that's like the most likely outcome of that situation is like he'll have to pay a fine and he won't be allowed to have a gun. And that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Like clearly shit is going on in my life to
And
the point where I
I'm
feel
not-
like I need defense.
I didn't run this guy down
No.
for any reason besides the fact that I tracked them down or tracked my devices and personal items back to him.
And when I showed up on site, they shot at me.
Yeah.
So, but again, we're just covering this because it happened here, and we don't have like all of the details, but
We have enough details.
we have enough details.
Have
And my
enough details.
stance is let my mans go.
Facts.
Free Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
And some other things coming up. We've got Belltown Bloom is coming up. That's the first weekend in May. So May 6th. May 4th, 5th, and 6th. Or no, 5th, 6th, and 7th. There we go. Kylie, my girlfriend, is actually going to be
Oh,
performing.
what? You're just going to say that on the
Whoa!
podcast?
Maybe I'll bleep it.
Ah,
Oh my God, she'd
no
beef.
way.
She'd beef so hard.
Yeah, I was about to say you bleep it. I'm going to leak the original audio.
Oh, no.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, she would beef. Yeah, no. So, pop out to Belltown Bloom. I'm also going to be in Portland the day after that for my friend Webb Wavy's performance. I'm going to be his camera and support because I'm probably going to post some of those pictures sometime this week too from
Hey,
this
get
last
some
performance.
vlog, get some vlog content for the
Yeah,
podcast.
absolutely. That's what I'm trying to get going over there. So we're going to get up in the morning on Sunday and then drive down to Portland and just have a day out there. And then he's going to do his performance at night, and we're either going to drive back or spend the night and then come back Monday.
Yo, if there's space, let me know.
Yeah.
I might be trying to tag along on that. That sounds kind of fire.
Easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we got going on. We appreciate y'all joining us.
That's what we have going on.
That's what we have
But,
going on.
Like, what was that? What was that? Yo.
Hey, I told you I was trying to do it.
Nasty.
I told you I was trying to do it like Hot Ones. You know, he said, tell the people what you got going on. We told the people what we got going on.
But it was the hand gesture and the motion. And
It's the gesture,
Welcome to
bro.
106 in Park. And
Yes, you already
Jesus
know.
Christ.
That's how I do. I'm always smacking the knucks.
yeah, no, stop it. Yeah,
Thank you all
and with
for
that,
joining us to the winning.
smacking the
joining
nuts.
us. Thank
Yeah.
you. Smacking the knucks.
This is what
Oh my
happens.
God.
This is what happens when you give niggas money.
We should have never gave you niggas microphones. Anyways,
man. The
thank
winning
you all for
podcast.
joining us. We'll see you again next week.
I already said it, but
You know,
I've said it like
the winning
3
podcast.
times already.
Leave me
Jeez.
alone.
TWP, we out.